If you're thinking about getting into HF or are ready to move to a newer HF rig, having a logical, rational process to evaluate your options can help you make a choice that's best for you. Hi, and welcome to the Gadget Talk channel, where we do reviews and how-tos on a variety of electronic gadgets that catch my eye. In this video, we'll be going through a decision-making process to help you make a good decision on starting in HF or upgrading to a newer HF radio. The goal here is to help you make a decision that's good for you. While I'll be using my recent HF purchase as an example, this isn't about why you should get this or that radio. Instead, we'll focus on a process that will lead you to your best choice. My situation was that I've had a couple of used HF rigs over the years. They were entry-level rigs from major manufacturers. I decided to upgrade my shack rig just about the time that all the lockdowns occurred, and many of the radios in my desired price range went out of stock. As things got better in the supply chain, radios became available again, and Yaesu even released a new model to add to the list. When a number of radios either went on sale or had sizable rebates, it was time to act. There are rumors of new rigs coming in 2023. It may be time for you to do your assessment and be ready to act as these new rigs become available. The first step in this analysis is to have an honest conversation with yourself about how you plan to use the rig, or if you're currently on HF, how you currently use your existing rig. Spending a bunch of extra dollars for features you never use is foolish. Do you plan on getting serious about contesting? How about digital modes? If so, how much or how often? Do you plan on lots of POTA activations, so you need something that's portable? If so, how portable? Picnic table portable or backpack portable? Having an honest answer to these questions is a good start. Another important consideration is price. What's your budget? The answer to this question will help you limit your choices. An interesting thing about beginner or entry-level HF rigs is that most entries in this category from major manufacturers are very capable radios. When it comes to HF radios, a beginner radio has most of the features of radios costing thousands more. The next thing I'd suggest is coming up with 8 to 10 key requirements that are important to you. The good news is that for radios in the same price range, most of the important radio features in terms of settings and controls are pretty much the same. That keeps you from listing dozens of criteria where you'll have check marks for every radio. In other words, focus on the key differences, not the similarities. My initial scan found the following radios met most of my requirements. First was the very popular ICOM IC7300. It has a great reputation, but is getting a bit old in terms of the technology, having been released in 2016. Next was the Yaesu FT991A. This too is a popular rig, but as with the IC7300, it's showing its age. It's also not an SDR radio. Number 3 on the list is the Yaesu FT-DX10. This is a well-appointed radio that is fairly new. Its popularity means that it's at the top of my desired price range. Last on the list is the Yaesu FT710. This radio is brand new, priced competitively, and has an excellent Sherwood receiver score. Being new, any faults aren't well documented yet, however. So here's my criteria list for me personally. Remember, your list may be different. In terms of price, I wanted to stay under $1,800 max. $1,500 was preferred. Next, I wanted an SDR radio that was fairly new. Technology changes fast, and so I was targeting a radio that was released in the past 2 to 3 years. I also wanted a rig from a name brand manufacturer with a solid reputation. My last major criterion was a radio that scored well in the Sherwood receiver rankings. I followed these up with a couple of secondary criteria. They included 100-watt output, touchscreen menu access, waterfall display, the ability to easily connect an external monitor, full HF and 6-meter band coverage, and an internal sound card for digital operations. Since having a touchscreen and waterfall was more important to me than a small portable form factor, I didn't include a couple of nice radios that met the other requirements but were more mobile-oriented. These include the ICOM 7100 and the Yaesu FT891. Again, your needs and priorities might be different. If your needs include mobile and backpack portable, add those form factors to your list. So here's my matrix with my assigned scores filled in. As you can see, in this price range, the differences in my selected criteria were not substantial. The good news is that you're almost assured of making a good choice with little room for those naggings, shoulda, woulda, coulda thoughts after you get your new rig home. For me, the Yaesu FT-DX10 and the new FT710 bubbled to the top. The FT-DX10 had some additional advanced features, but they weren't things that were important to me, so it boiled down to price. My choice ended up being the FT710. I accepted the risk that there might be some new product hiccups, but trusted that the Yaesu brand wouldn't release a new product with serious flaws. Your priorities will likely be different than mine, and you may choose something else. Again, this video isn't about the best radio, it's about having a solid selection process. If the rumors of new radios in 2023 are true, you may want to start your decision matrix now and fill it in as more solid information becomes available throughout the upcoming months. That way, you'll be well on your way to making a good choice based on what's important to you. If you've been thinking about upgrading your dual-band analog FM HT, join me over here and we'll take a look at the KG UV9D Mate. It's a full-feature HT that even includes crossband repeater functions. And be sure to comment if you have some additional rating criteria that you think someone might want to include in their matrix. Thanks for watching, and 73.